Valtteri Bottas brilliantly won a rain-affected Turkish GP ahead of Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez as an angered Lewis Hamilton finished 5th after a late Mercedes pit stop halted his comeback drive. Bottas led almost every lap of the gripping race in difficult conditions and sealed his first win of the season with an overtake on Charles Leclerc before finishing comfortably ahead of Verstappen at the checkered flag. From my side, it was one of my best ever wins, said Bottas, but Verstappen had still retaken the championship lead from Hamilton, who was running third after starting 11th before being brought into the pits with just 8 laps remaining, a decision he slammed on the team radio. "Why did we give up the pace?" said Hamilton, having previously refused Mercedes pit calls as he tried to get to the end of the race on the same intermediate tyres he started on. "We shouldn't have come in, man, I told you," he said. Mercedes told Hamilton that he would have lost even more positions by not stopping, but the end result is that Max Verstappen now leads the standings by 6 points with 6 races to go in an epic 2021 season. Leclerc was also attempting to complete all 58 laps on the same tyres before he was passed by Bottas. He then pitted and was overtaken by Perez in the other Red Bull for the final podium position. Perez had an incredible battle with Hamilton for 4th earlier in the race, even being forced over the pit entry as they went wheel to wheel in the final sector before he lunged into turn 1 to maintain his position. Pierre Gasly finished 5th for AlphaTauri despite picking up a 5-second penalty for a first corner collision with Alonso, although driver of the day Carlos Sainz came 8th after a magnificent comeback. Sainz started 19th but finished 8th with some breathtaking overtakes. Esteban Ocon was the only driver to finish the race on just one set of intermediate tyres, although he struggled towards the end of the race, but he didn't struggle on tyre as much as Sebastian Vettel, who at one point bizarrely fitted the medium tyres on his Aston Martin, barely making his way around the track before returning to wets. It hasn't been an easy 2021 for Bottas, without a win for the first 15 races, while also learning that he would be replaced at the end of the year, but the Finnish driver put all that behind him today in what was an accomplished drive in faultless. Bottas, who assumed pole position thanks to Hamilton's grid penalty, safely navigated the first corner thanks to a brilliant start and then slowly but surely stretched his lead from Verstappen. He was faced with another big test as Leclerc looked to commit to stay out, but he overtook on lap 47 and forced him to stop. Verstappen too can be happy with his drive. While it didn't feature his usual heroics in the wet weather, it's impressive given the Red Bull had nowhere near the pace of Mercedes. The major talking point of the race, however, was Lewis Hamilton. It had been a mighty recovery from Hamilton after starting 11th, making up a place on the first lap before passing Vettel, Tsunoda, Stroll and Norris and Gasly comfortably. He next faced Perez and lost out this time, and although he was a podium position when Red Bull stopped, Mercedes was soon calling Hamilton in. "Why?" Hamilton said. "The new winter is the way to go," came the reply, but Hamilton insisted, "I don't think it is. It feels like we should stay out." Hamilton finally listened to instructions on lap 51, perhaps didn't realise how many positions he would lose. In the process, he sweared and said, "Man, why did you leave? Why did you give up that space? We should have come in. Massive graining, I told you." After the race, Mercedes boss Toto Wolff backed his cruise strategy and Hamilton may not have even made it to the end on his tyres. Hamilton also seems to have calmed down a touch. While he maintains his tyres could have gone to the end of the race, the tyres are bald, so you don't know how far they're going to go. There's definitely the worry about the life of the tyre. I think probably in hindsight it should have been earlier, or I should have stayed out. A bit frustrating, but it is what it is. An incredible season and title run then continues to the US GP as F1 heads to stateside for the first time since 2019. Every session from the coast will be in the evening. So yeah, a bit of a change, but nice to have evening races back again. Before I go, here's the final classification. Bottas obviously winning, great to see him on the top step of the podium for potentially last time, faultless from him. Verstappen in second, yeah, I think it's probably the maximum he could have done today. And then you've got Perez in third, really solid for him. I was doubting him yesterday, but yeah, really solid drive from him again. Leclerc in fourth, I think he'll be frustrated because the podium was there, but you know, still a decent result. Hamilton in fifth, I mean, only losing 8 points, one more than Max lost last time, it's not the end of the world. But it is what it is, really. And yeah, still plenty to play for. Gasly in 6th, I think he'll be happy with that. Probably the maximum he could have done. Norris in 7th, yeah, still losing ground to Leclerc. Maybe could have got above Gasly, but not a lot else really. Sainz in 8th, for me, star of the race. Absolutely brilliant recovery drive. Stroll and Ocon, I think they'll be very happy to score points. Ocon obviously did a great job getting around the whole race without having to change tyres. And then you've got Giovinazzi and Raikkonen, very solid race from those two, really. Unfortunate not to score points, maybe. And then we got Ricciardo and Tsunoda. Yeah, disappointing, especially Tsunoda. He looked like he was on for a great race before that spin, and Ricciardo, yeah, just didn't have much pace at all today. You could say the same about Alonso and the two Williams, really, just not the pace. And then Vettel with his weed strategy, but if you're not going to try it, you're not going to succeed. That's kind of natural. It's seen Aston took today. And then you've got Schumacher and Mazepin, even in the wet. Yeah, they just don't have the pace, even in races like these, which is unfortunate because realistically it's their only chance of a point. But yeah, it is what it is for them. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave us comments down below. Follow on Twitter and link to description below for daily F1 news. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.